audio this time. Hey, Ted, can you hear me this time? Adam, can you hear me, buddy? It's showing my little mic thing moving, but you know. Hey, Tom. Works great. Oh, thank you. You know. And back to what I was trying to say, Adam. Yes, Adam, I posted that specifically hoping that you would remember. So thank you again for that card, buddy. I'm never going to forget that. All right. Hey, Sean, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Tom, thank you for confirming that I have audio again. Hope everybody's weekend's going well so far. We actually had a semi type of spring day here in Missouri. So today was the first move of to the new place. And I was trying to figure out a way that I get a picture up. But yeah, apparently, since I don't have my work account or my home account linked with my work account, then I can't put the picture up on there without emailing and everything. So, hey, Cliff, thank you for stopping by. Yeah. See, that's why I don't give them any shit whenever they have audio and connection problems, because all I got to do is look back through some of my videos and see where it says take two, and I realize that I'm in the very same boat. But the good news is, guys, those of you that are here early, that's why I didn't want to start the auction until 7:30, because I haven't had a chance to talk to everybody all week. And I knew that there would be a few people that would come in, right at time or a little early. And that's why I tried to get in early to see if there were any issues. Good thing I did. But irregardless, did the old tape measuring on the new room at the new location, and we have plenty of room for the tables. So the goal is to try to get the track table moved next week. And then I'll use my phone to film us putting the table legs and the bottom and everything back together and getting it set up and all that stuff. So good news on that front. As long as the weather holds out, that's the only criteria, because the only way I can move it is in an open trailer, and if it's raining, then that pretty much squishes that idea. If you don't have no audio to show your cars, can you not still not hear me, Sean? Yeah, Adam, that storm that you had actually left here and went there. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It blew up some of the fake siding off the side of my dump that I live in now. Hey, Mike, thank you for finding it, man. Audio is good now. Thank you. Okay. Here, 1 second. I didn't have a lot of time to prep. I literally made 3 loads with the Tahoe today, and then a buddy of mine came by with his van, and we loaded it up. And then my parents actually brought some of the stuff that was out at their house, and I still don't even have all the slot car stuff in the man cave yet. Hey, tell her I said hello, Mike. Thank you. Okay, cool, Sean. Thank you for confirming. I'll make sure everybody can hear. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, all I got to say is button down the hatches and hope that if you've got any indoor pets, they've already gone outside and done their business, because they're not going to want to go outside. Last night, I've got a full-blown German Shepherd, if you follow the channel for any length of time. And long story short, when it was thundering, she ran and hid behind Dad's recliner because she hates the thunder. So, yeah, she wasn't a very happy dog last night, to say the least. So everybody be safe, bottom line, so I understand if you need to take shelter, because I did see there were all sorts of tornado warnings out there. So everybody be safe, and anybody that has been involved in one, please, reach out and let us know what we can do to try to help. Shift into high. 5-5. Yeah, see, Mike, I watched that Ryan Hall y'all guy, and he was saying it's going to make a big sweep and then head up to the northeast. And shift into high, I'm not sure what you mean by 55. I'm sorry. Or 5-5. Oh, loud and clear. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. Well, he just keeps it real low, the Ryan Hall guy. If you guys are kind of fed up with your local station's weather, and you just want to watch somebody that has a little fun with the weather and shows you all the different models and the possibilities, then I strongly suggest that Ryan Hall guy. He's pretty entertaining, I got to say. Oh, wow, Adam. Is everybody okay? Is everybody with your family okay? All your cousins? You know, Bottom line, slot cars are fun, but family first. You know, cool. Glad to hear that. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'm glad to see other, great minds think alike. We got several great minds on this channel, and if those of you haven't stumbled upon it, check it out sometime. Like I said, it's a nice, different take on the weather, and you're getting a whole, big picture of it, so to speak. So what I had kind of planned was is kind of like a pro tinker thing, and then I was, obviously you can see behind me here, uh, a couple of the cars, and obviously I was going to show the cars, and then what I was going to do is just set up my phone, and then have it like a 5 minute, or if no one was interested, then we just skip it and go to the next one. I'm not going to try to beat a dead horse. If nobody's interested, then we'll just move to the next one. And like I said, in the description of the original video before I had to start this second live stream. I want everybody to know right off the bat, there is no pressure for anybody to bid or purchase anything on any of my auctions. It's just simply my way of trying to offer maybe a deal that's better than you found on eBay or some other hobby store, and you're getting to pick it up at a better price. Because I do have to mark it up anywhere from $5 to $7 depending on the cost when it goes on eBay, just to cover their fees. Because, like I mentioned, if you haven't caught it in the past, they also charge fees on the shipping that you charge too. So they get you both ways, coming and going. So I don't charge any tax, and I only charge exactly what it costs to ship to your door. I have no hidden fees whatsoever. If you do win an auction, it's the simple way of contacting me is scottdanielmo@gmail.com. And once this stream is over, I'll actually put it in the live feed description of this below, in case anybody misses out on it. It's just my first and last name, Missouri@gmail.com. Once I receive your email, then I will send out an invoice via PayPal. And then once I receive payment, then I go through Ship Pirate. I'll put in your email address so that you'll get tracking information and updates on it. And since obviously no mail goes out tomorrow, I go first class USPS. It'll go out Monday, so there will be no delay time. If you purchase something tonight, it'll get packed up and ready to go, and you'll be notified that the shipping label's been created. And then starting Monday, you'll be notified the post office has accepted the package and it's on its way. Well, Mike, I'm glad everybody's around you guys. Yeah, no, we didn't have the tornadoes. We just had the straight line winds here. So I'm glad to hear that everybody's safe. I'll quit rambling. That's serious stuff. Quick story about tornadoes. One night, whenever I worked third shift, whenever I was in my early 20s, I was on my way to work, and um, I was driving down the highway in my Mustang, just rocking out, going to work, cruising along, and all of a sudden the rains just pelting the car, and I had my CD in, so I didn't a CD in the CD player, so I didn't have any idea what was going on with the weather on the radio. And so I'm just cruising right along, and I notice, man, my wipers on high aren't even keeping up. What the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it starts hailing. I mean, just big old things of hail. And I had a sunroof, and the only thing kept going through my mind is, man, that thing is going to shatter, and it's going to be glass all over me, and I'm going to be getting pelted with, big old. Anyway, long story short, and then if that wasn't bad enough, then in the middle of that, all of a sudden it just stopped, and then the wind hit really hard, and the rain was doing waves, and it literally shoved my car. As this is an example of, I was going down the road straight towards the camera right now. It literally shoved my car this way to where two tires were off in the ditch on the right hand side of the road, and I was like this. Doing about 40, 50 miles an hour. And it just went just like that. And what that was, later did I find out, because once I got to work, nobody was anywhere to be found. They were all in the tornado shelters. I had literally less than a quarter mile away passed a tornado. It was going one way and I was coming the other. And we literally passed each other. And that's why I got lucky and didn't get sucked in. It blew me away from it. And I drove to work. I didn't even know what was going on. So I take tornadoes seriously, is the whole point of that story. So what's everybody? I mean, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing the auction until 7:30, and I even put that in the promo video. So there's some people that may not be tuning in till then, and I don't want to start early to give everybody. Obviously, if I set a time, I want to try to honor it. If someone is just tuning in just simply for the auction, because like somebody mentioned, I believe it was Ryburn, he went back to the Final Four because I was having issues. I completely understand that. There's other things to do on a Saturday night besides sit here and watch Scott. So you know, um, I'm just sitting here reading and comparing stories. Let's see here, stopwatch. Timer. Okay, I'm getting the phone ready. So like I said, I'll do auctions for 5 minutes and we'll use the phone and I'll just hold it up periodically. And then that way, like I said, but if nobody's interested, I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes and just, make you guys get bored out of your skull. But I am going to get some history ready for the first car. I didn't, in all my moving back and forth today, I didn't have time to get my little cheat sheet ready, but I knew I had my Bible here. So I was going to wing it off of that. Yeah, see, Ted, what's even crazier is when I lived in that same small town, that tornado that I just described to you guys that I passed on the road, well, it went to the small town that I lived in, and it was following the highway. And long story short, you know how in between developments and open spaces of fields and farmland, excuse me, in the Midwest, there's sometimes little 5-acre plots of trees out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Somebody didn't develop it or, take it down for farming for anything. Anyway, the tornado hit those trees and it bounced it up about 2.5 acres into that 5-acre plot that my house was on the other side of. So it went up in the air, went over my house. This is the same one that I passed on the highway, and then came down on the main road that you turn down to my street. So it literally went over my house and then demolished everything from that side of the road on whenever it hit again. And I found roofing shingles in my living room because it was swelling the door so bad that it was allowing shingles inside the front door, even though it was dead bolted. Oh yeah, that's how I knew it skipped everything because coming home, I was actually following the tornado's path, and when I was at work, figured out that's what blew me off the road and how lucky I really was. And by the time I got off at 7 o'clock in the morning and was trying to go home, since it hit in the city where I lived in Rogersville, and like I said, it wiped out everything on the other side of the main street to turn down to my road. I mean, it literally went right over my house. And so I could watch the path of destruction all the way. And then it hit that. And then because I thought honestly, I was going to show up and my duplex was going to be gone. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Somebody was looking after me. Hey, Rick. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, no. If anybody ought to know about tornadoes, it's somebody that lives in Oklahoma. And as a neighbor of Oklahoma, that's how I know that. Tornado Alley. Yeah. Found the first car for tonight on the auction, the old Hot Wheels police car. Doesn't say what set, regrettably, but I know it's a set only car because of the year that it was manufactured. Did you have any? I didn't hear anything on the weather about any tornadoes in Oklahoma, Rick. I just heard everything that was east. Yeah. U of M, the best way to view a tornado is watching some storm chaser film it with some place where you're safe and you're nowhere near where they're saying take cover. My experiences with tornadoes that I've had is close enough. That's passing one on the highway and having it skip over my house and having to clean up grass and shingles from houses and inside my house that was closed and in the garage. And yeah, it is amazing. You know, it only cracked a couple of the windows from doing the suction thing. Hard wind yesterday. Yeah, that's all we had here in Southwest Missouri in the Springfield area was, like I said, just straight line, what I call straight line wind when you look out and it's horizontal with the asphalt. Up, 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 up. The work computer's got a 15 or a 5 minute or something like that go to sleep thing on you. They want to make sure that you're always working. So if it does that, then it puts you into a snooze mode and they know you're not at your computer. Pretty sneaky. Yes, there you go, Jeff. Exactly. No, they are a nice little car, especially if you're into the police cars or like what I do. I don't necessarily race them, but I'm going to have them around my diorama on my track. And if you've missed any of me talking about the diorama stuff, once I get the table up, uh, every car that's on going to be on the track as part of the diorama will actually be a running slot car of some kind. Yeah, I didn't even realize it, but I started off with a couple of set cars, and then I went to a uh, harder to find car, and then uh, the 6 series of the series of 39 of the 4 gear cars of the Autoworld cars, and that's what this is. This is the A version of the Penguin Mobile when the Penguins stole the Batmobile. Yeah, that's what I like about that, and the fact that if you saw that when you saw the video, you could still see through it and see into the motor and stuff. It just like I said, it's just a cool looking little car. That police Hot Wheels. Come on, how many cop cars have the Hot Wheels logo on it and then on the back glass too? So pretty cool. Like I said, this one isn't in perfect shape. Like I said, I point out all the flaws, guys. You can see where this one's been run. It's a runner. There's a nick there, a nick there, and a nick there, and there's a couple of nicks on the other side in about the same places. So you can tell it rode around the guardrail and flipped off. Yeah, are those going for like $50 or $60, Ted? How much are those Panteras going for? I know they're going to go for more than that. Those are some sweet looking cars though. I really, it's like I told my parents because they obviously, like I said earlier, um, they brought some of my slot car tracks from their place that I had stored out there to the new place today, and we wanted to check out the new pad. And it's like I told them, I said, if I'd have been smarter, I'd have started earlier and I'd have started doing the T jets when they were reasonably priced. Because now, yeah, some of those cars pull down some pretty serious cash. I mean, they make my little Mega GT40s, and SRTs and stuff like that look like chump change. Your childhood stash, yes. Lucky for me, I still have my childhood stash, but I didn't have any T-jets. I had literally, like I said, I showed the one that I had that was my very first track, and it was a TYCO track, and it was a TYCO Pro, and so that was my first introduction to slot cars. It was one car and a figure eight, and so I got the track, and they had the plunger style, kind of like the Autoworld does. Um, on the drag strips. And anyway, yeah, that was the extent of my racing, and it was boring be by yourself. I'll be honest. It was cool because it was fast, but it was always flying off the track, obviously, because those pros have some pretty decent motors. They just have no traction. No way to stick to the track. Oh, for the kid, he hadn't decided on the finished cars yet. Oh, well, that's not bad. Now, see if I there's a few. Whenever I think it was during Dan's live feed earlier this week, and the road race replicas, whenever you'd send him the link on it, and I was on their webpage whenever I was at work working, and they have some of those Mustangs that are just kick-ass looking, and so it was everything I could do to keep the card in wallet because I knew paying the movers and everything was coming up. See, that's where I'd like to buy one of their like one of the new Dash T jets, and stick that underneath it, and but it that the sad part is it would be just sitting there because I wouldn't want to run it around the track, because those things are little works of art. I mean, I was looking at some of those Mustangs blown up on the big screen, and I was like, holy cow, the detail pretty damn good. But for 17 bucks, buy two, get one of those fast chassis and get out there and race it, so thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, see, I've seen videos on those, man, and nothing but praise. And so those are strong running, good chassis. And I mean, if you can work on a Magna traction or an X traction, you can work on a T jet. I mean, the same damn car. It's just the magnets don't poke through, in my opinion. I mean, there's a few subtle differences, smaller chassis. I understand. But same premise, pancake motor. Oh, so see, I thought about getting some of those RRs because they have kind of like a little rainbow going, and I thought about trying to get the four colors of my track, the red, white, blue, and yellow again. Yeah, he does. That's what I'm saying. He takes the time and put the effort and the detail in it, and it shows. A lot of people look at him and they don't understand why he's getting what he gets for a whole complete car down the road when they come in the cubes, but I get it. Hey, Rick. No, thank you for stopping by, man. That's one thing when I started this channel. If you haven't seen previous videos, I'll just run it real quick. The only reason why I started this channel was to share my knowledge, and honestly was to gain other knowledge from other people out there, and then try to make this as like a community of sharing your knowledge. Hey, Scott, you tried this, but I tried this, and my way worked better than your way, and then that way everybody wins. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody hears something that I say that's wrong, I don't take offense to it at all, because it may be just something that I was told from somebody. I'm no HO slot car guru. It's just I've been in it for the last 7 years, and met a lot of great people that have shared their knowledge with me. And then I'm just one of those people that feels the need to pay it forward. And so the way I pay it forward now, instead of just with my friends, is I try to share it with everybody in the world. And I do know that a lot more people watch my videos than are subscribed, and that's okay. At least the word's getting out there and the knowledge is getting out there. And that was the whole thing behind the channel in the first place. So if you ever have any questions, Rick, if I don't personally know the answer, there are several people. I'm looking at my computer. There are several people on that chat right now that will have the answer. And if none of us do, believe it or not, we will probably know somebody that will. So don't ever hesitate to ask a question. That's, we're one big community. Hey, Victor. Yeah. We've been talking about the crazy weather. All the stuff you guys are experiencing now is stuff that I experienced last night. Oh, nice, Adam. He's already claimed it, huh? He hadn't even seen how fast it goes, and he's claiming it. That's funny. I'm just hoping that you enjoy that car, and it brings you just this much joy, at all compared to the joy that you and your family gave me by giving me that car. And thank you all again, man, because that's, yeah, it's going up there with the rest of them. And I'm literally just one car away now. That same car, but the Mega G version. And there's, like I said, there's two of them on eBay, and I'm in the middle of moving, and then I did the old Autoworld purchase, and so that kind of shot down any idea about doing that. You put a 9 volt to it. Wow, Dad. Yeah, it sings, and I'm telling you, the more you run that car and break it in, it's going to get a little quicker. And I just hope it flies around your track like it should. If I was getting to test it around mine. All right, we got 15 people here on a Saturday night. Thank all 15 of you. And you don't necessarily have to chime in down here below. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you got in a little later, before my little disclaimer, once again, I want to thank everybody for showing up, because, like I mentioned, there's storms going on, life goes on. There's things that you could be doing on a Saturday night besides sitting there listening to Scott. So thank you for your time and sharing it with me tonight. Secondly, I want to say is that this auction that I'm getting ready to start off on, in no way, shape, or form is anybody viewing in any pressure or any guilt trip or anything like that to try to purchase a car. This is just something I was going to be putting on eBay anyway, and I figured I would offer it to the people that view my channel first, and maybe save them $5 to $7 to $10 plus taxes. I don't know. I know my state charges taxes now on anything I buy from eBay, and then sometimes some of the sellers on eBay try to really gouge you on the shipping. And so I'm going to start off with saying no pressure from anybody to buy anything. If nobody buys one of these cars tonight, at least you're going to learn a little bit about them, because I'm going to do kind of like what Tim used to do on PTT with the cold checking. So I've got the old TYCO Bible here. So we're going to dive deep in on the TYCO stuff. I'll let you know what I do know about the Autoworld stuff, on the history on that stuff, whatever series that those cars are in. I'm going to try to next week try to break it up. I'm going to try to have one of every manufacturer. I'm going to try to have at least one AFX, one TYCO, and one Autoworld, at least one of each out of the 5. And so this week was the first week where we didn't have an AFX. Next week we will. Yeah, the shipping on eBay is getting outrageous. And then I recently had a seller just flat out lie to me. He said he was going to combine shipping, and then he said he combined it, and all he did was combine the total of all the shipping into one total, and then sent me the invoice. And he goes, "Oh, I combined your shipping." No, that's not how this works. So yeah, you don't know about those people. Yeah, Ryburn, be safe, buddy. I'm glad that everybody's locked down. And like I said, if somebody has to leave, because of weather, I completely understand. Family first, be safe, safety first. That's if you guys don't know, with me and my family issues, I take family very seriously. No, Saturday nights are for slot cars. Yes, Mike, I completely agree. All right, so we're about a minute away from where we're going to start up, and so I'm going to kind of follow along with the series of what I did in the promo video, as far as which car is going to go first, and then the time frame. But before we do that, like I mentioned, I'm going to cover how the auction is going to work. Basically, after I'm done describing the car, answering anybody's questions, because I don't want to start the auction and then I get distracted by questions and then maybe miss somebody's bid or a question, something like that. So we'll answer all the questions that people can think of right off the bat. Don't feel free to even add them whenever we're going down the timer. But I'm going to set it for 5 minutes, and I'll just every minute I'll hold it up to the camera so that you'll see whatever time delay that you have, so you can adjust accordingly if you want to wait till the last second to bid on anything. And like I mentioned, I'm going to keep saying this again on every car. I do not expect, or it's just an offer to try to help save money, guys. I am not trying to push my cars on you at all. I can put them on eBay and let them sit there all day long, but I'd rather give you guys a good deal and try to pay it forward a little bit and just make my $2 to $5 somewhere in there and still get you a better deal than you would find on eBay. And I have researched all these cars on eBay as of yet last night. If somebody's added something today, then I don't know about it. But so how it's going to work? Last person with the highest bid, if there are more than one bidder, when this thing goes to zero, then they're going to win the auction. In order to complete the transaction, since obviously there's no way for you to message my business on Monday morning or get a hold of me. The way we're going to work it is you'll simply email me at scottdanielmo@gmail.com. And after the live feed is done tonight, I will add that to this description of this video below. You'll email me your address. That way I can get you to the penny exactly what it's going to cost you for your car to your door. And then I will invoice you via PayPal the total cost, the cost of the car, the exact cost of the shipping. And then once I receive payment, then usually within 2 to 3 hours, you'll receive a notification from Ship Pirate that a label's being created. And then Monday, you'll be able to follow that bad boy from the acceptance from the time my postman picks it up at my front door till the time it arrives at your front door. And just like any other cars that I've sold to any other of the people, I've sold a few on here to some people, and they know, for any reason you get a car that you purchased from me, I offer a 100% money back guarantee. So you open that box up, you don't like it, you just contact me back. I will refund your money. And like I've mentioned before, the only thing I can't refund is your shipping cost. So if for some reason you think you're wishy-washy and you don't know if you for sure want the car, just remember that if you do ship it back, it's on your dime, not on mine, because I can't lose money trying to give an auction. If I was wealthy enough, I'd give cars away, but I wouldn't be selling them if I was wealthy enough. So this is what I do to help support the channel. So actually, just so you guys know, what any funds that if anything sells tonight from this, they're going for the Look What Scott's Got AFX version. So whenever I get the money saved up for that from the cars, like I told you, it takes money for me to sell cars, to invest, to put into other cars for my collection. So now you know where the money's going. It's not going to Scott's wallet for a good time or the titty bar. It's going straight back into more slot cars. And the benefit is when I do have those, then we'll have a Look What Scott's Got, and you guys will get to see what the purchases added up to. So that being said, does anybody have any questions before we get started? And I'll start going over the history on the police car first, what I have on my TYCO Bible, and then answer any questions that we have. And then if we, when we're ready, then when we're all say we're ready to go, I'll hit the timer and we'll start it up. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Shift into high. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did. I don't know what's going on with some of the sellers on eBay. The person that did that to me had combined shipping a bajillion times on stuff that I'd bought previously, and this time they just decided that they were going to try to make an extra double the shipping cost or triple the shipping cost, and yeah, I was like, no, I don't need the cars that bad. I'm good, thanks. All right, so the very first car tonight, since I don't see any questions about how the auction is going to work, it's pretty simple. But if you do have a question, don't hesitate to stop. The very first one that's coming up tonight is the police car that we see in the background. The digital pictures are better than anything that I'm going to be able to show you on my camera tonight, because if I get too close to it, it starts making a clicking sound. But regardless, it's the very same car that you've seen in there. It's just as shiny as it was in there. Just like I mentioned, there's some nicks right there on the mirror and on the A pillar, and just on the mirror on the driver's side. Other than that, there's no other nicks on it whatsoever, and it is a runner. So, like I said, I don't sell cars that aren't runners. Um, there's the back glass, the blue glass that someone mentioned. I thought we all thought was pretty cool, and then it does say Hot Wheels on the back glass there, as well as the Hot Wheels Police on the side, and then it's got the Hot Wheels logo up there on the fender, and the obligatory 911. And then it's called in the TYCO book, it's known as the C280 police car. And just so you guys know where I'm getting my stuff, it's not Scott making stuff up. This is coming straight from the people that wrote the book. And a little history on this bad boy right here. This car came from a set. It was called the Police Pursuit set. The sister car, or the car that came also with this one, is the Trans Am. If you remember, the reason why I'm selling this car is because I did purchase that set. So now I have that set, and I have both the cars. I no longer need this one. So this was one that I had in my collection that was going to be going on the diorama. That is a Hot Wheels electric racing set, by the way. That's the only way you could buy this car, and it came out in 2006. So this would be towards the end of the Hot Wheels electric racing, and right before Mattel completely dropped it and no longer doing it. And this is during the time that they only sold cars in sets. There were no blister pack cars at the time on this one. So, sweet looking car. So, like I mentioned, no pressure from anybody. I'm going to start the bidding off. If anybody's interested in this car, $30 plus shipping to your door. And if you are interested, just put it down there. And if you're not, then like I said, after 2 or 3 minutes, if no one's bid on it, then we'll just slide it to the side, and then I'll get up the next car and we'll talk about it. There ain't no sense, like I said, beating a dead horse if no one's interested. So the first one is the Camaro. It's going, starting bid is $30. It's from 2006. It's from the Police Pursuit. It's the 440 X2 chassis, and it is a runner. But the lights do not light up. None of them light up on those, by the way. And I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. And then, like I said, I'll watch the feed. And if nobody wants to bid on it, that's fine. Once it gets to like 3 minutes, if nobody's bid on it, then I'll just shut it down. We'll just go to the next car. No big deal. So, did anybody have any questions on the car while the timer's going off, or does anybody personally already? I know that somebody mentioned earlier, I can't remember who said that they already own this car, and like I said, I agree. It's these are what I call the cheese wedge Camaros, and you kind of get why I get it. That it's got that kind of a V look to it. So I think it's what, the Gen 4 Camaro. Is that what this one is? I think so. But regardless, pretty cool little car. If you're into cop cars or just want to have your own police chase, there you go. And ironically, that's about the same price as the new Mega G Plus Crown Victoria. So, Oh yeah, Jeff. That's like I said. I can tell you guys right now, if this doesn't sell, it's going on eBay for $35. Real simple. And then I charge a flat $5 shipping, no matter where it is in the United States. So, like I said, if you want, if there's interest in it, $30 is a decent price. I usually see them go from anywhere from 30 to $40 on the high side. This one, since it's got those couple of little chips, there's no reason for me, like I said, to mark it up. I got a good deal on it. I got one that's brand new, so I don't need this one anymore. So I'm just trying to pay it forward and get what I got out of the car, and basically break even on this one, because I believe I've got right at $30 in this one. So this would be a break even for Scott. So that's why I'd have to go on eBay for 35. Like I said, it's 17 years old. So, it's not real old as far as the cars go. And the shoes are still the original shoes, and I don't know how well it's going to show up there, but there's not very much groove at all in those shoes. It doesn't have the little heat shield on it anymore, but those are hard to maintain over a period of time, because usually they get dirty or get hot and people take them off. Well, we're at the 2 something mark and nobody's bid on it. So I'm just going to push this one to the side, because obviously, like I said, I'm not here to push cars on anybody. If there's no interest, then I'm just going to move on. It ain't no big deal to me. Like I said, I'm just trying to see if there is a car that I am trying to sell. If someone wants to try to get it, then there we go. So we'll move the cop car off to the side, and I'll pause that and cancel, and there we go. All right, we got it set up for the next one. And that we got another set car coming up, and that's this one. It's another, obviously that comes from the Target, I think Target Challenge or Target 500. I'll find out exactly here in just a second when I find it in my book, so I can show you guys where I'm getting my information. It is a Sharknose car. It is a set only car, like I mentioned earlier. This during the time that Mattel was only doing set only cars. There it is, number 23. All right, the Target Championship from 1999. So this car is officially 24 years old. It is a set only. It came in the set number 37056, if anybody's interested. Target Championship. And this is one that the Target brand store commissioned Mattel to produce this set for them. And if anybody's interested, I will be selling the sister, the red car that says Target, in another auction down the road. This one is dead solid perfect. I don't know how well it's turned out there on the camera, but I know in the videos, if you saw how shiny it was, there is not a nick one on it. It is perfect, no cracked wings. It's a runner. You could hear there. You can see on the bottom, it's very lightly used, and it still does have the heat shield. See the reflection, so it's got the little heat shield on it. So this one, if you're looking to be a collector and you don't want to buy the whole set, and you like this black, yeah, this would be a good one to get if you can't get a brand new one. I priced these on eBay recently. One that was brand new in the baggie went for just under $80. I see them go anywhere from 60 to 70. Tonight, I'm going to start the auction off on this one at $50, which is a steal compared to what eBay cost. But like I said, if nobody's interested, nobody's interested, and it's no big deal. But if you are a collector or you like this, what they call the Sharknose design, there are 4 Indy F1 style cars from Mattel, TYCO, Hot Wheels. This is the latest, and it was called the Sharknose. And that's that design right there. Does anybody have any questions on that one? That's the ugliest Camaro generation. No problem, Mike. Like I said, they're the cheese wedge. That's why I called those guys. And I haven't started the auction yet. Like I said, I want to answer questions before if anybody had any. I don't want to breeze right by and just make it look like I'm trying to shove cars on people. Well, like I said, guys, this is a great example. I mean, if it has a flaw on it, I would tell you, and it does not have a flaw on the body. Where you can sometimes see where on some cars where there's some of the tampo or some of the decals been scratched or from a wreck, or there's dents or something in the plastic or deep scratches. There's none of that on this one. This is one that was in my case as a collector, and since I got the track set, no longer need it. So I don't see any questions. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer at the old 5 minute. There we go. And if someone does bid, then I'll start giving minute updates. But if no one bids it, like I said, around the 3 minute mark again, then we'll just push that one to the side and we'll go to the next one. Hey, Fry. Hey, Zims. Thank you guys for stopping in tonight. The only car you've missed so far is the police car. And if you're interested in any of the cars, I'm going to put it in the description. Just get a hold of me before Monday night is when those cars will be hitting eBay. So even if you don't want to bid on it tonight, if you think about it over the weekend or tomorrow night or whatever, and you're like, hey, I do want to buy that car, email me, let me know, because Monday night at 7 o'clock is when those bad boys hit eBay. AFX Speedlock track for eBay. Are you selling some, Zim? Is that what you're doing? Oh, and just in case you guys are wondering, if anybody just peered in, this is the car that's up for auction right now. We're at the 3 minute 45 seconds left out of the 5 minute auction. This is from the Target Championship 1999 set only car. Beautiful example of this car. If you're so interested, the bidding starts at $50. And like I said, no purchase, no pressure to purchase. But if you are a collector and you like this style, this would be one that I would strongly suggest you jump on. But if you're not a collector and you want to race it, it'd look good going on the track too. Hey, Zim, that's why I'm selling these cars now, so I can turn right around and buy some more cars. So I understand completely. I robbed Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, I took a picture of all the track sets, and this was one of them that was up on top. And if you remember the Look What Scott's Got, you saw the cars that were in it. So that's why I got that one out and pulled it out of the case. All right. Well, another 30 seconds. If no one's interested in it, like I said, I'm not going to hog a lot of time up on something that nobody's interested in. I'll move on. And if nobody's interested in any of them, that's okay. You're still going to get a little cold check on the information on the cars. So exactly. See, if I've already got one, there's no sense in me holding on to two of them when I'd feel guilty putting this thing on the track and racing it, knowing how rare it is, because like I said, it only came in those sets. So, this good of an example or one in the baggie is going to be hard to come by in a few years easily, if not already. All right. Well, we're at the 2 minute mark, so we're going to give this one the old, whatever they called it, the bid goes on the auction sites, I believe is how they word that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the next picture of the next two cars up. There we go. All right. So the next one I have up here is let me pause that. Cancel. There we go. All right. So this is from the Autoworld 4-gear series. This is their series number 39, the silver screen. This is one of 6. There were 3 versions A and 3 versions B. It came with the Penguin Mobile, the Ghostbusters Ecto 1A, and the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. This particular version that we have tonight is the A version. I do have both, so we'll see the B version also on another one of these. So the A version is the one that you would see in like maybe some of the little blister packs and stuff like that. What makes this one unique is because of the A and the B versions. These are the ones that actually come in the sealed cubes, which this one is, and it's brand new, unopened. So if you are a collector, this is the one, this is the version you want. And if you're not a collector and you just want to get it out there on the track, it's a runner too. So it's a good looking car. There's the back side of the box. And like I said, if you saw my Batman video, hey, Ryburn, tempting. Yeah, no, it's a good looking car, man. Like I said, you know, if you're a collector, you know, like I said, yeah, if you remember my tour of my room, I've got all 6 of these. I've got both A and B versions of all 3 of each of the cars. And so when I got an opportunity to buy another set of the A and the B, I grabbed them up and I've held on to them for over a year, and it's time to move them on. And now that you see, you beat me to the punch there, Zims. I was going to say, and this would be the exact same version that they were referring to in the latest April Autoworld releases of the model that Zims Aquatics and Hobbies mentioned with the Penguin Mobile. The only difference is there's no Catwoman on the other side. There's no Catwoman in there. Just the Penguin. But this is the very same car that they're releasing in the model later this month. So pretty cool. Nice. See, I love my viewers, man. I got some sharp cookies for sure. So no questions on this bad boy. Then I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. And I'm just going to tell you right now that $40 is where this one's going to start. Just because, like I said, that's $5 cheaper than what I found it on eBay currently. And then with their shipping that they wanted, it was going to be over 50, and that's not even including tax. So at $40, if you just bought one car, this would be less than $5 to ship anywhere in the continental United States. You'd have less than $45 in this car. But like I said, no pressure to purchase. It is more of a collector than it is a runner. But I don't presume to tell anybody what they need to do with their slot cars. They buy them for whatever they want to buy them for, and that's good with me. You know, I buy my cars for what I want, and this is one of the ones that's hanging on the wall because I do know that it is a collector because they only make so many of these in the cube. And now, if you've noticed, they don't make the cubes anymore, so this makes this even a more desirable collector when they used to do all the cars like that. So. Yes, Adam, that's the one I'm missing for that 4-car set. Nice remember. Thank you, man. Man, dude, like I tell all my friends, they're like, so how many of these people you really know? And I'm like, I actually know quite a few of them between all the other channels that we all talk to each other on. And then they all watch my videos because we all talk about stuff that I've talked about, and they bring up stuff that I forgot. So yes, I am missing that car, and I'd love to have that car to complete that series because that one's getting harder and harder to find. Yes. See, I love these things. Well, A, because it was kind of cool to be able to hang up whatever series it was on the wall. And but then even then, if you didn't have the cardboard box, even if you just had the cube on the inside, which here, let's see. I can open it without opening it. There's nothing sealing these boxes per se. It's just the cube itself. So I'm not hurting any collector value whatsoever. I didn't damage it in any way. So yeah, this can verify for everybody. Good call. Yeah, so there we go. See the plastic stripe that's on there? It's sealed. It's brand new. And I wish they'd do these more often too, because even if you didn't have that cardboard, at least you could stack them up like the old days of seeing the old Magna Traction and G Plus cars from Aurora, if you guys remember that. But no, like I said, just a little thing to throw out there in case you guys don't want to go back and watch my Batman video. This is the only time that they changed the Batmobile to anything else on the side besides a bat. And if you'll notice real close there, it's a penguin now. And that was the only time that they did that on this car. And it's got some good details. It's got the red up front outline. You know, like I said, they did a good job on this. Good looking cars. So sticking back in there. Yeah, they'll gladly sell empty cubes. And like I told you guys, whenever we're doing the unpacking videos, whenever get moving into the other place, I'll show you that I actually have a sealed cube with that band on it. They call that a banded box. I have one of these with a banded box that they forgot to put the chassis underneath the car. Good stuff. You just can't make that stuff up. All right. So there's no interest in the Penguin Mobile. But like I said, if someone does watch this video later, if they're not able to see it live, and you see that no one's bid on it, because I did do a live chat replay, message me. Just scottdanielmo@gmail.com is how to reach out to me and say, is that car still for sale? I'll let you know. And then, like I said, same deal goes. And we'll try to get it to somebody if they want it. No big deal. All right. So we're back to the TYCO. Going over here to the little Miata, and that one actually kind of surprised me for what it was going for on eBay, to be quite honest. The cheapest I found it was for $40, and it was already opened, but it did come with the bubble pack, even though it was opened. And then the highest I found it was like $80 or $88 or something like that, somewhere around in there. It was just way overpriced, and I found a couple in between, but I'm not going to ask that. Not even close. Let me find it real quick so I can give you some details on it. Like I said, I apologize. I meant to have this all done, so I just have a little cheat sheet. But the moving ran long. Actually, it was traffic. It wasn't the moving. It was driving all the way across town. So I apologize for the delay here. Time sucker. You missed a bid. Rick, it was, which car are you talking about? Nobody's bid on any of the cars yet. So if you want one of them that's been shown, you tell me which one you want, and I'll tell you what the minimum bid was. And if you want it, it's yours. Like I said, this is no pressure for anybody to purchase anything. It's just these are going to go on eBay Monday night at 7 o'clock. And so you've got until then to reach out to me if you don't want to bid on it tonight, or if you see this video later, which most people do, and you're interested in any of the cars. The Batman, yeah, $40, 30, yeah, $40 right here. And it's the Penguin Mobile, and this is the version A, and I'll be selling the version B of this very same car next week if you guys want me to. And it has subtle differences. But if you go back to the video of the Autoworld exclusive video that I was doing for the Look What Scott's Got, you'll see that A and B version in that video, and you can see the real differences in there. Pause that YouTube. So, sorry, I'm still trying to find Mr. Miata here. There he is. He's a harder one to find. I know that for a fact. All right, so this is part number 9009. Mazda Miata. Comes on a 440X2 chassis. These were produced from 1992 to 93. And this particular car has a collector value of 4 out of 5, which means they pumped out a bunch of them during that time. But you got to remember that was over 30 some odd years ago. People on eBay, like I said, are getting anywhere from $40 after shipping for one that's opened up. $50, I'm sorry, with shipping, and then all the way up to like $80 for brand new in the package. It's not been opened, and it's in excellent shape. No damage on the plastic whatsoever anywhere. So if you were a collector, this would be what you call a C10, perfect condition. There's nothing wrong with the packaging. Obviously, it's brand new, but not done. So this one, once again, the $50 on it, that's cheaper or at the same price as the one that's on eBay that's already open and been used, and about $15 cheaper than the next cheapest one that I found that was still brand new in the bubble. So I'm going to list it on eBay for 55, and I know that someone will jump on it because that's, like I said, $10 to $15 cheaper even then than what somebody else is asking. So pretty cool looking little car. What I like about these and what I explained to Dan at Slot Valley Racing was I like them because they got the little guys in them. So it actually, going around the track, gives it a little more realism, and it's got a little detail in there. It's not a flooded interior. It's actually got an interior in it with seats and stuff. So pretty cool. Pretty jazzy little car. Anybody got any questions on that bad boy? Yeah, and Rick, like I said, if you're interested in that, just let me know. No big deal. See, I'm right there with you, Jeff. I like this one, and they've got a blue one that's got like the crash test dummy theme going on it. And while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and start the auction. So it's already started at the 5 minute. And like I said, no pressure for anybody to purchase anything. I was going to show a picture of the other one that I thought was pretty cool too, and as part of the Miata collections that they have. Plus, it's a sporty little car. It's not that big, so it's going to have a light body, so it should handle pretty good on the track if someone wanted to bust it out. I like that blue one right there too, what I call the crash test dummy one. That one's pretty cool. But there's all the Miatas right there, the blue, the green, the red, the yellow, and the crash test dummy. And that is it, guys. They literally only made 5 of them. So you'd have a 1 of 5 car series of cars. I'm sorry. Oh, cool. Thank you, Ab. No, I have more fun doing this than I have fun sitting down. As an example, so the last video that I made promoting the video before this live stream, it literally took me almost 3.5 hours to put together all of those pictures and fade them and do everything. It takes a long time to make videos. That's why I appreciate the people like Dan that take the time to make those, because believe me, guys, he puts in a lot of work. I know firsthand. So thank you, Adam. I'm glad to be back. Oh yeah, see, Jeff, I was going to try to do a little series, get a little series of the cars because, if there's 5 of them, you got the red, the yellow, the blue, the green, and so you could really get a 4-lane track, red, white, blue, yellow kind of thing going if you substituted the green in there. But I was like, yeah, I've got too many other what I call IROC series cars, so you know, you, yeah, you just got to draw a line in the sand somewhere. And who was it that mentioned they got the crisscross track? Because yeah, I'm looking to try to buy that. By the way, when am I going to do movie night? Well, I don't know. I don't think it'd be the same, but it'd be different. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Yeah, that's awesome, Jeff. Yeah, see, that's why I love doing these live feeds. I told my buddies today when we were moving, unloading stuff and packing stuff. I was like, I don't care if I don't sell a car tonight or not. If I do, then I got, somebody's going to get a decent deal. And if I don't, no big deal. I just like enjoying the chat and then, sharing a little bit of knowledge about the cars and seeing what's going on with everybody. I didn't know about all the weather that was so close to everybody that I consider friends, so I'm just glad my friends are all safe, I'm glad their families are all safe. Start with bullet. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I'm going to do, Adam. I'm going to do the unpacking instead of the packing video. It's going to be the unpacking videos. So that way, because I've actually gotten some people that said that they wish the videos weren't so long whenever I was doing that, because those were going anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And then there were times that people were missing stuff because they didn't know what case was being looked at. And whenever they'd skip a whole case by accident, and, irregardless. So a lot of people were missing cars that I had and stuff like that. So, no, I'm going to go in reverse on it for sure. Oh, actually, well, I know it's not selling. We only got 30 seconds left. If anybody was interested, this is my company's new logo. It's a um, bullhorn. That's the name of the company I work for now, and that's their company mascot, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I like the size of him, just because if that was to be like a roadside thing at like those big whales or big balls of yarn or whatever, that looked pretty cool. Hey, Steph. Yeah. They sent me this thing in the mail. I was like, oh, kick ass. Oh, there it goes. All right. So we're good with that one. The Miata, everyone likes it, but I get it. And then the last one here, I don't have my Autoworld stuff out, but I will tell you this. This is a body that I bought, brand new, and then a brand new chassis, and I merged them together. And if you'll notice what's different about this one is the one that they sell in the blister packs now has black wheels, and I put the one that has silver wheels underneath it. Other than that, it's brand new. I had originally got it because I thought I'd keep it and hop it up and race it. And then I got me a Mike Neff Mustang that I decided I'd rather do that to than hop up the Camaro. And so John Force is going up for sale. Yeah, black wheels is what they come with from the factory. I put a chrome one underneath it, but it didn't look that good with chrome. I thought it looked better with the silver, personally. But, it is what it is. And honestly, I can't go anything less. I know it sounds crazy when I'm saying I offer good deals, but I can't go anything less than 30 because that's what I have in this car. $30. I have 15 in the body and 15 in the different chassis. After it's all said and done, after I paid shipping to get the body here and the chassis here, so $30 for the old John Force with the alternate, what I'll call them, silver wheels instead. But other than that, it's what I would call a new old stock car because it's assembled from new old stock. It's brand new body, brand new 4-gear chassis, never been ran. So if you're interested in the 4-gear funny cars and stuff, I know you can buy this one with the black wheels, not at Hobby Lobby, for $30 or more on eBay. And if it is at Hobby Lobby, then you can buy it for $20, and I can completely understand why you'd pass on this one. I mean, save $10. Hell, I don't blame anybody a bit for that. But this car, if you've not seen it in person, this car's detail is just bad to the bone. Very impressive. In fact, let's get it up on the screen since it's the last one of the night. Here. This is the one, this picture right there. That's the one that's really impressive. Shows all the stars and the stripes and everything. This is a good looking car. I mean, I may be a Mustang guy, but I'm not going to hate. It's a good looking Camaro. And if you're a John Force fan, then that's even better. So, like I said, $30 for him. I'll go ahead and start that now. I'm sure there's not very many questions on that one, but I'll be happy to answer them. I can't remember right off the top of my head which series this is from, but I do know it's a 4-car series. And once again, it's in my promo video of the Autoworld. Look what Scott's got. Yeah, Jeff. My local Hobby Lobby, I guess, has gone on strike on getting any new cars in because the last 2 weeks I've gone in there, there's nothing there other than the stuff that was there the week before that's already been picked through, and there's even less of it there now. And it's mainly Looney Tunes cars. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, like I said, I shop at Hobby Lobby. I can't even pull up my cars because I took them to the already took them to the new man cave. Um, but yeah, for $20 you can't beat it. And I know Brian. I think I caught when I was working this week whenever he did a live feed, he was saying something about Hobby Lobby. Autoworld had asked him to raise their price to $21. I don't care if they raise it to $21. It's going to piss me off if they do, but they're not going to do about it. But still, $21 is still cheaper than 30 or $35. I'm just saying. And then, believe it or not, if you get the right Autoworld car, then next thing you know, it's worth something down the road. Like who would have thought all those 55 Chevys would be going for what they're going for now? And I'm still seeing that silly candy striper go for $40 plus by itself. Corporate policy. See, I knew there had to be somebody pulling some strings somewhere, and because I know that the truck for both of my Hobby Lobbies here in Springfield, Missouri, comes on Tuesdays, and I also know that the merchandise, as far as the toys go, doesn't usually get put out from the trucks that arrive on Tuesday until Wednesday, and so at my two Hobby Lobbies, the time that I go is on Wednesdays, and then that's when I notice that there's been nothing new put out, which is discouraging. Oh wow, Adam! No, that if you haven't opened up that iWheels version of that car, hold on to it, man. Unless you just because it'll be worth some money down the road. Because if the non iWheels car is already pulling down $40, what do you think that thing's going to be worth 5 years from now? Just saying, if you can hold on to it for 5 years and forget about it, and then all of a sudden pull it out, somebody out there will pay some money for it. 4 cars per week. Well, no wonder there's empty pegs. Well, I didn't know that, Rick. That's pretty cool. Huh. Well, I'm in Springfield. We're not that far away, so you'd have thought that they would at least try to keep up some stock. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but supply and demand, if you're selling out of something, doesn't that mean there's a bigger demand for it? So maybe you want to get a bigger supply of it so you can sell more of it. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. All right. Well, I don't see any bids on the John Force, so we'll just wrap up the old auction thing. Pause, cancel. So we got a little bit of knowledge on 5 cars tonight. And like I mentioned, if somebody is interested later, I will not be putting those 5 cars on eBay until Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So you can simply reach out to me at Scott, SCOTT, Daniel, DANIEL, M as in Mary, O as in Oscar, MO for Missouri, and then at gmail.com. As easy as it gets. My first name, my last name, the state I live in, and at gmail.com. Reach out to me and say whichever car you're interested in, and I'll let you know if I still have it if someone else hadn't reached out before you. And if you want it, I'll sell it to you before I put it on eBay, and I won't even put it on eBay. But if not, if nobody does, no biggie. I'm going to do another 5 cars next week, so I'm not going to keep pumping out the same cars until someone buys them. When they go up one time, if no one buys them, then they hit on eBay. But if you still do, after Monday, decide that you want one of these cars, message me and let me know through the scottdanielmo at gmail.com, and I will still honor the price off of eBay that I started the bids off here tonight. Because like I said, they're all going to go from $5 to $10 more on eBay Monday night than they were offered here tonight. So if you do want one later, and I haven't sold it on eBay, I always have the right to end the auction early is how I have mine set up. So if you want to buy it and I don't have a bid on it, then I'll end it early and it's yours. Hey, Jack, thanks for coming in. To the Red Ram Charger. Yeah, Rick. Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. The Looney Tunes. There's a clue. If those are the only things left on the pegboard, and you haven't restocked your pegboard in a couple of weeks, nobody wants them. Order something else. just my thing. So just to recap real quick, if anybody, like I said, watching the video later, because nobody bid on these, so they're still all up for sale. $30 for the police car, $50 for the Target F1 Sharknose Target Championship set only car. This came from the Police Pursuit set 2006. This came from the Target Championship in 1999. Said $50 for it. $40 for the version A of the Series 39 Penguin Mobile of the Batman. $50 for the 1992 to 1993 Miata. Like I said, still cheaper than you can find it on eBay. $50. And then last but not least, I know this one's exactly the same price as what you can buy at a lot of hobby shops, so I certainly understand why it wouldn't sell. But if you don't have it and you like this look versus the black rim, which is what it comes with factory, then this would be a good one to get without having to spend the extra money on a chassis or swap chassis around to get the look that you want. It's a good looking car, and it starts out at the $30 and actual shipping to your door, no taxes. So there we go. Those are the 5 cars for tonight's Slot Car Saturday Night Live. So we got the auction stuff out of the way. So now we can just talk slot cars and what everybody else wants to talk about. So whenever you guys watch the latest Autoworld video for the new releases, were any of you guys just as disappointed as I was that there was not one slot car? I know I was disappointed. Now, if I was a Hot Wheels or a Johnny Lightning collector, then yeah, I'd be in heaven. Hey, Victor. Thank you for stopping by tonight, buddy. Hey, we're up to 17 and 14 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. April Fool's Day. Someone asked me if it was a joke if I was really doing an auction. I'm like, no, it really isn't. Oh, are you sure it's April Fool's Day? You're not playing a joke? No, I'm not playing a joke. I'm really going to do a little auction. So I'm glad all 17 people have shown up tonight. And I know there's some good sporting events going on. I know right before I came on and after I fed the dogs, I was wolfing down a couple of pieces of pizza, and I had the Craftsman trucks race on from earlier today. Watched the F1 qualifying this morning before I started moving. So yeah, I got some good races going on. Anybody else watch anything today? I know that the Winter Nationals qualifying was on. I'm going to be watching the drag racing stuff later. I watched the American Flat Track Series, the motorcycle series where they, American Flat Track is flat track motorcycles. Pretty crazy shit. When they wreck, they go sliding across the dirt into bales of hay and concrete walls on the other side. So pretty cool stuff. Watched some last night from Australia. Watched the World Motocross Championships from Melbourne, Australia. That was pretty cool. Oh, we're up to 18 people. All right. At Cletus's track, yeah, see, there's some YouTube people that creators like myself, except they follow drag racing that like big money drag races and stuff like that. And so there's like the World Series of Pro Mods, for example, was last weekend, and Flow Racing has another one that they're doing that I need to watch tonight too. Guys, if it comes to racing, I am all about it. He's certain he has had that attitude. He's not thinking of the Mountain Dew Buick Regal. He's thinking of the Skull Bandit. I've never seen a. I'll look at my book right now, but I've never seen a Mountain Dew Buick. But hey, just because maybe I skipped over it, but I think I'd notice that because I'm sucking down the Mountain Dew like it's water. Kidney stones are heading my way. Yeah, Mike, I honestly think he's thinking of the Skull Bandit, and I just about bought one of those this weekend, but I was like, no, you don't have the money. It was a fairly decent deal. It was for $50. That's a pretty good price for that car if it's in good shape. I'm trying to find the older Buicks, stock cars. I found the Luminas and some of the Monte Carlos and the Grand Prix, and I found some of the Thunderbirds, but now I need to find the others. I really wish they would have just grouped them all together, but you know, had to break it up. Good grief. Where's it at? All I gotta do is find the one with the Skull Bandit on it. And hey, Robert, thank you for showing up tonight, buddy. I would. It's going to cost you like $40, I think, on eBay right now, Mike. There's a guy selling actual copies of this actual book. Well, good grief. I know what page I'm looking for. I can see it in my brain. I just can't. What's cool about this is like here on the back, in case you guys don't have this book, is they show you some of the sample cars that were never made. And I don't know about you guys, but that M&M's car looks badass. That F1 Sharknose FedEx car looks badass. That looks badass. Oh, and in case if you're ever wondering, that's one of the rarest number 3 TYCOs out there. If it's legit, it's worth every bit of $500. So if you find one, hold on. All right. I'm going to find that Buick here in just a second. I'll start at the back and work my way all the way to the front. I'm bound and determined. Now curiosity's killing the cat. Ah. Nope. So here's all the Buick cars. And right there. Now, if you have either one of those two Dale Earnhardts, those are worth some cash. These two, this Petty right here and this Bobby Allison, big bucks. Because you actually, that's what they're showing you the stickers for. You had to put the stickers on yourself because they came in a track set that you purchased, a TYCO track set. That's the only way to get those cars. Pretty cool. So what I was thinking that he was thinking was Mountain Dew, Mike, after that 5 minutes of journey, was the Skull Bandit there. Oh yeah, see, I watch it all, Zim. I mean, I watch the Australian Supercar series where it's Holden versus Ford, and then I watch the Blanc Pain or whatever they call it, DTS series in Europe. And those cars are badass. Looking at those Grand Touring cars and how they've maxed those things out. No, hey man, we never know until we look, and I was more than happy to look. I'd have been excited if someone pointed out something that it was in that book that I didn't know was in there already. Hey Ed, thanks for stopping by, man. Hey Drew. Oh, Drew, yes, no, see, that's what I've been complaining about and complaining about and complaining about. How can you get a Thunderbird Super Coupe, and how can you get a Camaro to look like a Camaro, and then the one Mustang that you make that's a Fox body Mustang, and it looks vaguely like a Mustang? That wheel opening, where the hell did that come from? No, I I've emailed AFX Race Masters, and I've emailed Autoworld, and I've begged them to do a Fox body Mustang from 87 to 93 for that body style. I'm selfish because that's the year that I own a 91 and a GT version, and make it as accurate as possible without looking like the TYCO version. And no, I even pitched it as they needed to do muscle cars of the 80s, because a lot of people in my age group in that decade first started driving. So those cars are the cars of the people like our parents remembered from their youth, which was the Trans Ams and the SD 455 Trans Ams and the Hemis and the split nose Camaros and the SSRSs and it just goes on and on and on. Well, you move that up to the 80s, and that hot rod has continued from the 80s on. The 70s was dead. They do sell at them. They make Autoworld makes a couple of those little G bodies, those Buick Regals, and I honestly think if they just change the badging to have the little swirl 6 and call it a GN, a Grand National, or a GNX, the experimental Grand National, I think those things would sell big time. Just because, like I said, those are cars that were legendary in my decade. You know what I'm saying, of driving, first getting behind the wheel and driving myself, and those Fox body Mustangs, and the generation before these Camaros, whatever, Gen 3 Camaros. That's what I remember. And racing my first Buick Grand National and driving my first Buick Grand National, and it was like, this is my grandma's car until you floored it, and it was like, whoa, my grandma's car don't haul ass like this. So yes, I would think that they would, especially if you put the GN label on it for the Grand National, and then you got like the SLP Trans Am, and then you got an IROC Camaro, and you got a Mustang GT. I mean, come on, man, there's a lot of good cars right in there. Those yellow Regals that I showed, those are the most collectible Goodwrench cars. I'll show them again. Good question, Rick. If you're a collector, yep. Those two right there. Those are the two most desirable TYCO Buick Regal number 3s out there, because they say Wrangler. There we go. Now it finally focused. Yeah, Callaway Corvette, Jeff. Now, see, now you're getting what I'm talking about. See, well, you could do a lot of those, a Celine Mustang, a Kenny Brown Mustang, a Shelby Mustang, or a Shelby Dodge Daytona from the 90s or the 80s. I'm sorry. Remember they made those little boxes with the 4-cylinder turbos? I'm just saying there's a lot of cars that people remember from that era that you could make into slot cars. And I would bet good money that they would sell like hotcakes if they looked like the actual cars. The number 2 is the harder of the two to find. See, the 2 and the 3, both of them, anytime I see them going on eBay, they both go for close to $100, if not more, every time, without fail. Every time. They're just very desirable cars. These two right here. And I can see where this one, yeah, this one would be, because I very rarely see this one, but I see this one more than I see this one. So I can see where this one would be rare. In fact, what does TYCO have to say about it? 7 and 8. I'll just tell you how rare TYCO calls, what they think they are. Yeah. Okay, so you nailed it, man, to a T. That is the rarest of the rare of the rare. It is a 1. So if you guys remember where I get my grading scale, and it comes directly from this book, this car right here, this number 2, is a 1. Highly, highly collectible, very, very rare. So if you can find one of those bad boys in some flea market or antique shop or somebody's collection that's selling, next door, whatever, you've got a winner if you're a collector. And if you're not a collector, you can sell it and make some good money. Yeah, because that's a 1. Pretty good. And let's see what the number 3 is. The number 3 is a 3, which means it's a very good collectible. That number 2 was only made in 1982 only, part number 8919. And they made the number 3 in 88 and 89, 8901. Yep, pretty cool. This is what I call the TYCO Bible. This is the 3rd edition, and this is the most recent edition. I've seen some other people on eBay try to print off their own versions of this and call it the latest, greatest, but this is the one that's written from the actual guys. Yes. In fact, in the very beginning, it tells you who all contributed to this book. Yeah, there it is. There's the collector sheet. Number 1, very rare, best collector value. And next to that would be zeros, but zeros, you're just taking a stab in the dark that there weren't a lot of them made because they weren't officially released. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to read all their names, but see all that list of people there? These are all the people that contributed to this book, to making sure that it was accurate and with pictures. Yeah. A lot of people. I just noticed a guy that lives in Olathe, Kansas, and that's not that far away from here. Yeah, pretty cool. So if you're a TYCO guy, I can't recommend this book enough. It's going to tell you not what you should pay for something, but it's going to give you an idea of how rare it is, so you know whether or not you should spend the money now or wait for it later. And if you are a collector, then you just better own one, because you're never going to know what you need to know without it. Yeah, shifting to high TYCO. What's cool about TYCO is, well, I don't have a lot of good examples because I've already taken them all away, but there's only 2 different chassis as far as TYCOs are concerned. And there's the wide chassis and the narrow chassis. That's it. And both chassis can be a 1.5 wheelbase or 1.7. So there's a wide and a narrow, and every body, car body that is, if it's a narrow chassis or a wide body chassis, from TYCO Pros up, will fit underneath any of the chassis. So you can mix and match, is my point. So you could have a 1974 TYCO Pro bodied car with a more modern 440X2 chassis underneath it, if you so desired. Or you could go in reverse and put an old chassis underneath one of the new ones. They're very flexible. Dan died? Really, Jeff? Oh, man, that sucks. Hey, man, no problem. That's why I love my TYCOs. And they're so easy to rebuild. Inline motors, no can motors. So if something goes wrong, you can fix it. And if you've watched, there's been a couple of videos on the quality control problem that AFX is having here lately. And I know Dan had a problem. His replacement chassis was just as big a piece of shit as the one that the car came with originally. So there's two of those can motors that were junk. And then Terry Flynn with Hardin Creek put out a video, and they pressed on his rear gear so crooked that it was barely catching teeth. And so he had to pop off a new gear on it. And I mean, yeah, he wasn't a very happy camper. Yeah, Terry's the man. Oh wow, Jeff. See, yeah, I can guarantee you that somebody that was a collector probably was all over that estate sale, as soon as they heard he passed and was like, hey, if you're wanting to sell his stuff, I'll help. See, I don't know if a lot of you knew Greg that was with, he used to have an online website, HO Slot Cars. And like I've mentioned back in some of my older videos, he was the one that helped me start collecting all my GT40s, the AFX, the GT40s. And how I found out he had passed was through PayPal, because I'd sent him money for cars. And 2 months later, I hadn't received anything. He wasn't returning my emails, and he wasn't returning my phone calls. And then finally, one of his relatives let me know that he had passed and that they were just going to refund my money. Oh wow! See, and that's why those of you on Facebook that haven't joined the Bob Beers Mr. Aurora page, um, if you're looking, he sells Aurora cars and Mid America bodies and stuff like that very inexpensively directly off his page a lot of times, from his personal inventory. But the whole reason for me bringing him up is I want to go to New York for one of his Super Bowl sales that he has, slot car shows. He sold out this year. There was no room for any other vendors to show up. See, Robert, I know it sounds funny. I'm not bashful. I'll email anybody. So I emailed the Mattel contact us about the cars last week, because I'd love to be able to say something that they said to me about whether they were even thinking about it, or something. Be able to break some sort of news. But obviously, I haven't heard back from them. But if they give me some standard answer, they give me any answer, I'll let you know. Autoworld didn't reply to my request to put in a Fox Body Mustang, and the 80 series muscle cars is what I called it. And neither did AFX. Neither one of them even replied to my email. None of them gave me the common courtesy to say, "Great idea, Scott, but we got other plans," or nothing. They ghosted me. It was a wasted effort, but you got to try. Yeah, see, Moronic Pest, his shows have gotten so big now. Like I said, his that the banquet place where they were doing it this year, he sold out of vendor spots, and that's saying something from doing it out of the back of his car. He's on an East Coast tour right now, selling stuff, trying to drum up business for his new 2-pack that he's getting ready to release. I'm tired of seeing John Force up here, so we're gonna. There we go. There we go. All right. Mike, okay, so I think Brian's in denial. I'll be honest with you guys. There's an easy way for me to tell this, and that is if those things were as hot as he thinks they are, they have already been sold out. Um, and they're not. And they're not even close to being sold out, is my understanding. So there's the clue right there. There's only so many different shades and so many different things you can do the same body style before people are going to start losing interest in it. And then when you got Autoworld doing the same damn thing but just a different twist, so now all of a sudden you've got something that's not unique anymore. It's more of one of 12 or 13 different color schemes or variations. Don't get me wrong, as a collector, I'm still going to get them and I'm going to have them all. But as an example, that Blurple, the very first one, it sold out within a couple of months, is my understanding, um, from watching the videos, I believe, if memory serves me correct. And so, um, and as he's made more of them, it's taken longer for them to sell out. So I think they've whipped that horse as much as it can be whipped, and it needs to be moved on out to pasture, and let's find something else to try to do. Um, but there's they still sell them. It's just that they're not selling out of them. So got to catch them all. Yeah. Yeah. See, Ed, I'm right there with you guys. Yeah, Robert, that's what I did. My looks what Scott's got, the Auto World edition, when I was showing all the investment on all the Hot Wheels cars that I purchased, and the specific reason why I did that was because of what Dan had heard Brian say about when they were there at the slot car show about or talking to the president or one of the people of marketing with Auto World, saying that they didn't get their license renewed. And right then and there, I knew that I needed to get at least one of every car that had Hot Wheels on it that came from Auto World, simply for the collector in me, and not necessarily if I wanted to race them or not. Well, some of them are still good looking cars, but uh, the collector in me was like, now you got to buy them now. And that's why I bought two of those 4 packs of those tribute series, the ones that have the Candy Striper and the Plymouth Duster and the Camaro. Yeah, that's why I bought two of those, because I already saw how much the Candy Stripers were going for now, and it's not even been 6 months. And then anything that says Hot Wheels on it, because Mattel is very tight with that license. And so I don't know what Auto World did to piss them off, or if Mattel decided they wanted to get their finger in the pie again and start bringing back the TYCO stuff, because they still own the TYCO name and everything, to my knowledge. 240Zs, yes. A Chrome GT40. Hmm. I hadn't heard that. I heard they were going to make a clear one, but maybe that's maybe chrome and a clear. Um, I don't have that clear body. They didn't make a chat. They didn't release it with a chassis. They just made a clear body so that people could paint them on the inside and make them for their own. I don't have one of those bodies, but yeah. See, that's my catch 22 with Auto World. They make some really well, the 4 gear cars. I mean, for what they are, they run good, and but you can hop them up. But their X traction cars, those are just shit. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. That's my honest opinion of them. They're just crap. Um, I shouldn't have to work on a car that much to get it to run, and I shouldn't have to spend extra money on it to get it to run. I don't care if it is only $20. I don't care if it's just considered a toy. When other manufacturers make cars that are 25 and $30 and their shit runs right out of the package, then come on. Anyway, that being said, I love their bodies, and I love the fact now that like Viper and Hardin Creek, Terry, they're making those body clips that have the lowering clips, so you can get that damn body down off the 4-wheel drive look and actually slam it down like it should be, right above the fender well should be right above the tires. Make them look kick ass. Yeah, see, I wish they would have put the duck tail and then the whale tail, both wings, because they back in the day they made them both ways. That was one of the things that Terry complained about the new Shelby. Once he finally got the rear end gear fixed, that was all jacked up on his, and then got the cardboard from rubbing on the tires, because it was falling down and rubbing on the tires and slowing down his car. Once he got all those problems fixed, then he was zipping it around the track, and a few hard crashes, and that little spoiler broke off the Mustang. Hey, Rich, thanks for stopping in, Matty. No, hey, that's what this is. This is we're past the auction and Scott's education on the cars tonight. Now we're just doing the old slot car Saturday night live chat. Yeah, see, Mike, and that's I don't know if you caught my Autoworld Look What Scott's Got edition, but I was complaining about that, about how the Autoworld store, they make exclusives only for the Autoworld store, but then a lot of these small distributors go in there and just buy it all up before the general public has a chance to even get it, and then they turn right around and slap it on eBay or Etsy or Amazon for 20 to 30% markup or more. And yeah, scalpers, yes. Well, we're up to 23. Hey, thank all 23 of you guys tonight that have come in. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Like I said, I'm here I'm smiling from ear to ear. You know, I'm tired and sore and feeling my age from moving, but this is lifting me up. This is a nice pick me up for the day. Getting to talk about cars. I'm all excited because hopefully here within the next two weeks at least, or week and a half, we'll have a video of Scott's table and room and stuff like that I'm going to be able to show, and then the movers come the 21st to officially move the desk and all the heavy shit, and so that's the weekend that I'll officially be moving into the new pad, and then where I'm at now will be just a matter of moving what little stuff's left and cleaning up before the end of the month. Yeah, now see, Jeff, I've dealt with Tom Galloway personally, and off of eBay, and he commissioned Autoworld to do that. Believe what, the '56 Ford truck? Is that right? And I was going to get one of his exclusives, but I'm going to buy it from him direct and not buy it off of eBay. So, like me, he doesn't have to pay that stupid ass those fees. Like I said, it takes almost 19% a 19% fee on whatever you sell. Honestly, that's a good question, Scott. It all depends on what you're trying to collect, because if there's certain Auto World series that people don't care about how they run, it's about how the car looks. As an example, this one right here, someone that was going to buy this car would not generally buy this car to race it around their track. They would buy it because of its collector value. So this one would be a good investment for an Auto World. Now, if you're looking at, like, for instance, the new Now and Then series of cars that came out and stuff like that, you got to remember, if it started out at 20 bucks, the most it's probably going to get up to is maybe 40, 50 bucks at the end. Now, flip that to where you go to AFX, a lot more desirable because people know that they run, and usually and with their warranty that they have, even if you bought a brand new one and it ran, it was broken, the chassis didn't run right, all you have to do is email them, and within 24 hours they will have a new chassis shipped out to you. So you can't beat their customer service. So as a collector, just knowing that's awesome. But the collector part of me says that at the most, this thing's probably going to, in somewhere in the future, 60 to 80 bucks, maybe on the high side, where a good AFX car will pull down 80 to $100 within 5 years, depending on the model. See, I don't have a lot of luck going through Viper. I know Dan does. I buy a lot of my stuff through Hardin Creek with Terry Flynn, just because, like I said, he was in on the development of the Viper chassis. So he's got all the parts and stuff. Plus, now he's got his own Super 7 chassis. He's got the Bulldog chassis. He's got the Cliffs. He owns the Lifelike license, so you can get a lot of the Lifelike bulk bodies from his website. He sells stages of upgrades for Mega G Pluses, TYCOs. Yeah. See, instead of the Vipers, like I mentioned for my super truck class, Mike, I'm going to go with those Super 7s and put those clips on those lifelike truck bodies and run those Super 7 chassis for my super truck class. And see, Ed, that's why I like those Bulldogs, because I don't think, yeah, here it is. Okay, so the Bulldog is just based on the Tommy Turbo. That's all that is, turbo chassis. And what I love about these is this is a motor that, yeah, if it breaks, it still sucks, but you can replace this motor. You can buy these motors in bulk. You can't buy can motors in bulk. When the can motor dies, it's dead. You can buy one of these and replace it. See, Robert, what I mentioned to Dan was, and is that if Mattel got back into it, it would make AFX Racemaster raise their quality control, and it would make Autoworld have to shape up or ship out, because, like right now, to me, it's some months are harder than others with when a lot of new cars come out. I have to, if I don't sell cars, then I can't afford to buy cars, because, like I said, I'm trying to get my real car running for racing. So it's a one-to-one sale thing. And there's some months that they come out with so many cars that I would literally have to pick and choose versus being able to buy one of all of something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So if you had three manufacturers making cars of two or three or four a month of different series and competing against each other, then they're fighting for your dollar that month, because they all want a big splash. They want to try to get a return investment on that mold. And so, yeah, they're either going to have to work on the quality, or people will quit buying it, even if it comes out brand new and they like it, and they'll buy the other manufacturer's car because it runs or it looks close to what that one did. But that's just my opinion. But I honestly believe with the standards that TYCO and Mattel have for quality control and Hot Wheels, like when they made this car, for instance, like I said, this car's, this one's not over 20 years old, but this one's over 20 years old, and it runs to this day. There's times I pulled out Autoworld cars out of the package and they didn't even run, brand new. So yeah, I've never had that happen with the TYCO. Yes, Scott, the Dash Mondo, and Ted was on here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but he's one of the people that actually has some of those on this that was on the channel earlier, and he said they run great. And in fact, we were talking earlier when I started the feed about the new Pantera. He was mentioning comes out the body from RRR Road Racing Collectibles. Um, anyway, it comes out Monday, and it's only $17, I guess, for the kit. And I was telling him that I'd get like to get a couple of those Pantera bodies, and then stick a couple of those Dash Mondo chassis underneath them, and then put one for on the shelf, and then have one to get out there on the track and race. Yeah, see right there, if it's a out of all my collection of cars, honestly, Autoworld is the smallest group. It would have to be TYCO and AFX would be just neck and neck, and then third place, it's not even close, as Autoworld. And the only reason is because I have all the funny cars, I have all the Top Fuel dragsters that they released individually, and because I like these 4-gear cars and the funny cars and stuff like that, and the pro stocks and the dragsters. Um, and then some of the specialty stuff that they did with the 4-gear, since I was collecting the 4-gear dragsters and stuff. That's what got me into this series, with the other 4-gear cars like they list here. And so, it's not like I went out of my way to purposely go after some of the Autoworld stuff, but the Hot Wheels made that Autoworld stuff collectible when they stamped Hot Wheels on it. And then I just like the 4-gear stuff, so that's where I kind of branched out. Okay, Mark. So have you had both of them on your track? I mean, is the Super 7 a noticeably better handling, faster car than the Bulldog? Because their price point's close. Yes. Okay. See, and that's the reason why I was going to put those bad boys underneath my lifelike trucks that I have for my truck class. So thank you for the tip. Yes, and yes. Yes. No, I'm all about it, man. I like I told my buddy today that was the told the two of them that were helping me move. I was like, I told you guys, as soon as that table goes up, then I'm doing everything I can to get it running, and I'll worry about the pretty diorama stuff later. I'm ready to put my maxed out biasu timing system to work. I'm ready to see my cars race around tracks, and my buddy was like he said, he goes, I'm ready to do some racing. He bought the two new Mustangs, so he's got the orange and the red one. And he's like, well, you got to hurry and get your track done. And he goes, I got my cars. Can't see him run around the track just sitting here looking at them. So yeah. Yeah, Jeff. See, I agree with you right there. They when they listened loud and clear about about the way the wiring is done. But what I noticed in that video is they did not say anything about changing from an incandescent bulb to an LED bulb. So if they still leave that stupid incandescent bulb, that's going to get really hot and melt. So now my car will run and stay on the track, but now it's going to melt because it'll run and stay on the track where it didn't before, because it would never run or stay on the track because the shoes were too stiff. Yeah, see, Mike, that's what he didn't mention that in the video. So I hope that they learned their whole lesson. Lesson one, don't put wires underneath the shoes. Stupid. Lesson two, don't put a bulb in there that gets so hot that it's going to melt the plastic body. I'm sorry. I'm not much of a politician, but if I was, I'd start my own party and it'd be called the Common Sense Party, because just a little common sense goes a long way. Yeah, see, Mark, I've got Vipers, and then I got six of those Viper Sportsman series that Terry did with Hardin Creek, and Viper or his Sportsman series Vipers, either one of those, they run great. They handle great. They're fast. I've never had a problem one. I get them out, I stick them on the track, I pull the trigger, they go. They handle, they run, and yeah, I love them. Yeah, see, thanks for that tip, Mark, and for letting everybody know. Because if you actually call and speak to Terry, he he will let you buy anything that you want to buy that he has to sell. But he will also tell you honestly, if you buy that version for your plastic track, you will be disappointed. And that's what he did with me with some of the upgrades that I was looking to do to some of those sportsman chassis. And he was like, nah, you won't like it. He goes, I'll take your money. He goes, but just don't call me back when you're not happy, when the cars don't run right because you're on a plastic track. He goes, those need to be on a routed track. Okay. Yeah, Mark. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, everybody's counting pennies. I'm right there with you, Robert. That's why I was, like I said, trying to save some taxes and taxes and shit like and shipping costs for people on eBay if they were interested. Yeah, no. And see, that's right there is that's take it from a guy that could sell you anything in his store and make more money off you, but he would rather be honest with you and give you what you're going to be happy with and come back to him for, rather than be unhappy with something that didn't work and think that he's just out to make a quick buck on you. That's what I love about Terry. See, okay, so the dude Now that you mentioned that, I was going to bring this up. I can't remember the slot car channel. If I find the video again, I'm going to share it on my channel. But it's somebody that took the new AFX Crown Victoria police car, and he found some strobing LEDs, and he put it underneath that light bar. So when the car is going around, it looks like the lights are really flashing like a real cop car. It's pretty cool. That was a brilliant idea. Besides the trains for picking up some scenery and stuff like that, if you're wanting to learn how to do your dioramas and for realism and stuff, you can't beat the train modelers, guys. They will show you how to make stuff look more realistic than I think sometimes Mother Nature looks. It's insane. Uh, yeah, they're very talented. Those guys, yeah, they're crazy. They get the plaster of Paris out there and they just slap that shit out, and then next thing you know, they're hooking up their little grass shooter gun and shooting grass and different thicknesses of it, and yeah, HO scale live stream, yeah, agree 100%, yeah. Those guys, uh, and I don't know about you guys, but I watch so many different forms of racing all around the world, and I get to see a lot of the world's premier racetracks. And so I'm taking a lot of the cues that I like from some of those tracks, and I'm trying to put those into my diorama on my track. You know, certain things that you might see at certain tracks and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool to see how each track does has its own twist on the same thing. Yeah, yeah. I wish I could hire a wiring technician to just come hurry up and finish doing the wiring on mine, even though it's all plug and play. You know what I'm saying? It's just the whole idea of getting underneath there, measuring, cutting, stripping. Yeah. Yeah. Those 132 guys and the 124 guys, they make some pretty impressive stuff with their routed tracks and stuff like that. And there's a lot of those um, specific track makers now that they custom build routed tracks for people. That's big business. I mean, there's a couple, two or three companies that just do nothing but make five or six big layouts a year and sell them, and 50 to a $250,000 a pop. And obviously, they've got their scenery shit down really good too. Um, yeah, you can learn a lot from them, and but the HO train guys, because it's the same scale, it's easier for me to relate to because then I can start looking for some of the stuff that they've used on theirs. So particular trees, bushes, signs, like a Boone's slot car garage. He was mainly into the big stuff, but then he started trying to build his little HO track, and he started finding out that building a plastic HO track is a little different than building your 132nd, 124 scale. But his scenery, and he does a lot of homemade stuff. And so whenever he gets set back up again from his big move and starts doing his diorama stuff, I'm curious to see how he scales his stuff down because he's used to working with the one scale and now he's going to have to go even smaller. Oh yeah, Jeff. Jeff, there's this old saying: if you've got enough money, it's not an object. So, but I think most of us that are on this channel right now, we don't have that problem. Money is a problem, and it is an object, and so that's. But honestly, even if it sounds fun to poke at the have somebody come in and do the diorama work. There's something to be said, I would think, too, about making it yours and doing it yourself and putting your own touch on it. But for simplicity's sake, I can also see where if you're just wanting it done and you're not care, you don't care about your own personal touches, you can just tell them to do what you want done. then I can see it both ways. You know, I can see, doing the grass and bushes and trees and stuff like that and rocks and stuff like that would be just let me put my buildings down. Let me glue some people in place. Yeah, so you believe in yourself. It's ironic that you say that because whenever I can remember being in like the third and the fourth grade, and I had my own dog, and my parents used to pay me a quarter a week to feed and water and let my dog out. I would literally save those quarters. So a month would get me $1. And so you can see how long it would take me to buy shit and then birthday money and stuff like that. And then I'd finally save up 30 or 35 bucks. And it was Sears, JC Penney's, here I come. Cause I'm getting me a slot car track. Hey, Moronic Pest. Yes, no, he does too. He did a few videos and showing how he did his grass and his trees and stuff like that. And Dan at Slot Valley Racing's done several of those. Like he showed how he was doing his lighting and stuff like that, and the plaster Paris. And he went with the that like that all turf grass for his layout and stuff. And one of the guys that races with us, he did that on his too. I went with the Woodland Scenics stuff, and I think Mark's Slot Car Garage. I think you have that down on yours too. Grass mat, yep. Woodland Scenics. I'm sorry, I was talking, didn't even know, and you put it down in there. That's funny. They have nice trees. Yep. I bought. Speaking of those lights, though, so those little pole lights that look like street lamps. Um, I think I bought 130 of those, so I could put them around my track. Racetrack Scenics. Oh, cool. Thanks for the tip, the dude. Always taking out your trees. See, and Mark, that's why I bought those Viper, those clear barriers like you have on your track for that very reason. Because um, when I was slowly accumulating those Revmatic bleachers and the grandstands and the pit stops and stuff like that, whenever cars would fly off, they'd hit them. And there's been a few times it broke stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, yeah, that made it how many years? And all it took was one crash, and now it's broke. But anyway, and so I'm trying to eliminate that. There'd be times that the cars would fly off and hit my bleachers and grandstands, and I didn't have my little people glued in, and the people go flying. Believe yourself, yeah. You guys have no idea how much time I put in on my track whenever it's up and running because I'm a very competitive person. Obviously, the hints of the channel, Scott's House of HO Racing, and I have every intention of showing you guys how I work on my cars, how I hop up my cars, uh, the tools that I use. As one as an example here. Um, I've got one that measures the magnetic downforce, so I know how strong magnets are and can pair up magnets. I mean, it's just a lot of things that I want to show you guys that I was doing before I started to try to permanently mount my track and disassemble and do all that stuff. When I finally decided to take the big plunge and just take it off the tabletop that I had on a banquet table with a 4x8 sheet of plywood and actually build a table for it, and mount it, and yeah, yeah. See, Mark, they have some of those Viper pre-routed 3 and 4 lane tracks on eBay that I see all the time. They got one of them for like $400 or best offer shipped, and I thought about getting one of those as like a like what Pro Tinker has is like a little tester track for people that are working on their cars while the other people are racing. And I thought about trying to put up something up like that, because one of their little smaller ones, they're 3x10 or something, or 3x6 or something they had like that. It was really small. Yeah, see, after I got to talking to Terry, I was like, oh, I'll never be able to afford a routed track. And now that there's Vipers started doing those bulk tracks, their prices have come down. And then if you're looking for a wood routed track, I mean, there's guys out there that are doing them fairly cheap now, because the um, they can do it computer controlled, the routing. And so, it's not labor as much labor as intensive. You just got to have somebody that knows how to write the CAD program to be able to carve it out. You're right, Robert. He has, and that's for him and Enzo. That's how they can tell their race teams. They got different colored bulbs for their cars for each other's race teams. So when they turn out the lights, they can see whose car is what, whose is who. Oh, so yeah, I'd love to have one of those Vipers, and I want my cake and eat it too. There's a problem, because I also need to build me a drag strip, and I'm not going to do like what Dan did. I'm not going to route mine. I'm just going to use my good old plastic track, but I'm going to try to set it up to where it's going to be in the garage and actually be a scale quarter mile. So we'll actually be doing that, just using their standard timers for now until I upgrade and get me a Biasu start and finish. Yeah, see, believe in yourself. There's times I buy TYCO cars off of eBay, because like someone mentioned there, whenever I was talking about $30 for the Camaro, $20 is sometimes what they get for the stupid chassis by themselves. So if I can buy a whole car for less than $15 and I get the chassis, I've just got a bunch of spare parts. And it's way cheaper than buying an individual bare chassis and trying to put it all together. So, yeah, I'm a big believer in recycling. So, Mike, I read that you go to Hobby Lobby to get their. Oh, wait a minute here. Someone, sorry, got to go up the step, top of 4 by thick MDF. Okay. Oh, nice, nice sounding track. Believe in yourself. Sorry, I had to scroll up to finish reading your paragraph. Mark, yes. I wasn't from Long Island. I was here in Springfield, Missouri, but our Sears was located in the Battlefield Mall. And I don't know if you've ever seen what they call the tub track that AFX contracted a manufacturer to make this tub so that they could put it in displays in stores. And they had one of those displays at my Sears. And I've told this story before, and my parents would go to the mall, and I would just go straight to Sears and wait in line for my turn to try to race the cars on that track. And I can remember seeing a whole wall of those cubed magna traction cars and just drooling and, begging mom and dad, please, I want one. Well, if you're good, Santa will get you one. Yep. Yep. And seeing that tub track and stuff, and that had that Lexan or plastic clear bubble over the top of it, and need more room to top out. Yeah. Hey, Ed. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, I I could just whenever my parents told me that I had enough money that I could go to the store and I could buy something with all my chores money and I wanted to buy me a new car, yeah, I get it where, people that have more than one kid say, well, how are you supposed to pick your favorite kid? You love them equally. Well, I would have that problem with slot cars when I'd see this massive just stack after stack of these cubed cars and just look and look and look and look and look and I want this one. I want this one. Next thing you know, you got a stack of 8 and you can only get one. I like the Super G Plus, not just the G Plus. I got to have some magnets on those because those stupid foam ass tires they put on there were junk. You know, obviously the basis of the Vipers and stuff like that. And yeah, no, no. What's cool about those too is, Bob may not know that same shoes is like what's on your turbo. So if you've got some turbo shoes, they'll work on your Super G Plus. Yeah. Oh no, like I said, there's so many new chassis, new cars, and then hop ups that I want to do. I mean, it's just I can't wait to get my track running. I no offense, guys. I love talking slot cars. I love selling slot cars, but what I love most of all is racing my damn slot cars. That's what I love doing. I love working on them and everything else, but yeah. Mike, if you got a bunch of those rotten out wheels, you just need to try to find your rear end or scrape off that foam and buy you some good silicones. Hard to keep anything in the package, Rick. Yeah, yeah. If you were to buy this, something tells me it would not stay in the cube. Something tells me if there's a 4-year old involved that yeah, it would be open it. Yeah, double flange. I strongly suggest anybody if you're going to hop up on a rear end and you're going to buy another rear end, get a double flange. Don't uh, even if it costs a little bit more money, it's worth the extra little more money to go with a double flange versus a single flange. Even though the single flanges are cheaper, and the reason is because it keeps your tire squared up on the rim, so it's not going to wobble. So you don't have to worry about it being seated perfect. It's going to seat itself perfectly because the flanges on either side. Two of everything. Yeah. Dodge Challenger convertible Matchbox. Yep. Yeah, see, Mariah Pest. I wish I could find one of those old Aurora ones too. I just, once again, money, time, space. I'm just now moving into a place that's big enough to have my new built track. So yeah, here I'm talking about having a test track, a Viper, one of their little routed ones, and I got to do a drag strip out in the garage. Yeah. And if people remember, I also said that I wanted to do a 4-lane TYCO track just for fun. He's hammered down all the time. See, that's what I love about the Tri Power Pack, Rick, is being able to put that. And I know Chris, Blue Valley Speedway or Blue Spring Speedway, I can't remember. He changed his channel name. Um, but Chris has got his grandkids into it now too, and he's got the Autoworld adjustable power pack, so he just tones it down so they can hammer down, and the cars don't go flying off the track. Oh, I had my like I said, the track was too big to fit in this room, so it's been sitting covered in the garage and buried behind other stuff that was in the garage. I haven't even, it's a 1-car garage in this little cave that I'm in, and we got to see it for the first time today, and I was like, oh, I miss you. and I haven't even ran a lap on you yet. Yeah. Yeah. Same way. Yep. Everybody I know, I don't care if they're young or they're not. If those of us that have raced against our buddies competitively, I mean, like you're racing to win. It's not just fun. It's fun, but you're racing to win. If you've ever done that, and you know how much work it takes to go fast and stay on the track, and then someone else comes in and they don't have a clue. They think it's just as matter of holding it down, and then they'll fly off a corner now and then, and they just don't. It takes a little. It's like a real car, guys. You even F1 cars have to let off the throttle to go through some corners. So you got to let off the gas. Yeah, for money also. Yeah. Wow, we got 25 people watching. I am super thankful, guys. Super thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm smiling from ear to ear because I'm having a blast. I'll give him a thunder jet. Did you see Mike the video that I told everybody that I bought a series of cars that were uh, uh, beater cars that I if someone came over and they never raced a slot car before, they were going to get to pick one of those four cars because I didn't want them trashing one of my, $80, $100 cars that I'd spent money on. So I was just going to let them wreck something and laugh about it. Yeah, that would be like get them a T-jet and let them go. Yeah, that's what I did. This makes well, I'm glad to help, Mike. I mean, this is making my weekend too. Oh man, more complicated than an RC car. I don't know what kind of crack pipe they're smoking, Zims, but there's no way racing a slot car is more complicated than racing an RC car with all their little servos and yeah, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Well, see, we're competitive, but it's friendly competitive. No one gets so pissed off mad that they're mad at somebody because you got to remember you can't blame somebody else for going faster around the track and than you are, and you can't blame them for their car being better than yours is because we all have access to the same stuff. So if somebody's doing something different to their car, then maybe do something different to your car. And so I mean, we just treat it like adults. But I can see where, you get too many people that get too serious about. We don't have any money on the line or anything like that. You know what the bragging rights are? Is you get to brag about it until the next race, and then the next race comes, and then you get to pick which one we're doing. We're either doing stock cars or we're doing F1 cars, and then that's the race for the night. So if there was money involved, I'm sure then yeah, there would be some more hurt feelings and pissy attitudes. But right now it's just bragging rights, getting to talk shit over the guys and then getting to pick what cars we race the next weekend. That's the big reward there. Yeah, and see, that's why we're doing the classes at mine. See, like I said, we got the unlimited Mega G Plus class where, with those canned motors, there's really the bicycle front end, magnets, rear end, and ring gear and pinion, and tires. I mean, that's what else are you gonna do? The damn cars there ain't that much to do to them. And then we've got an unlimited class where it's just run what you brung, but it's got to be a hard bodied car, no Lexan, no cardboard, a real bodied car. Wow, believe in yourself. That's awful. Oh no, Mark. Yeah, no, you nailed it right there. That's where on the unlimited class, it's yeah. So far we haven't experimented much past the Mega G pluses and the TYCOs. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so far you can go with the TYCOs and vice versa. But none of us have pushed it to where we're getting the ball bearings, the balanced armatures and stuff like that yet. But I can see us getting there once the track gets running because we're just competitive. It's just like every group of guys. Even though you're not getting mad at everybody, you want to be able to talk shit to somebody. So that's why you have friends. And then I have learned that if you have some of those hopped up cars and you're running wall warts, they're not going to run on a plastic track. The wall warts, the wall power units do not generate enough amperage for those lower ohm armatures and higher downforce magnets and stronger motor magnets. They will literally start heating up your controller and trying to melt stuff. And then the other lane won't even run. The only time they'll move is when you let off. Yeah. See, I've got a dedicated power supply, just exactly like what you have on your track, my friend. And that's what I'm wiring in with mine. Um, I was trying to, I was going to set up one of those NASCAR Sight and Sounds from TYCO. I bought one of those sets and I'd set it up on the floor and I was going to do a little video on it. And I pulled out a couple of my hopped up TYCOs that I have, and they've got a different arm on them and traction magnets and motor magnets. And this is one of the two cars that were out there. And I noticed that whenever I was out there by myself running either car, both of them are built the very same. My controller was really getting hot. And then my buddy put the other car down and it wouldn't move. He'd just hold it wide open, it would move. The only time it would move is if I let off and then it would move. And then if I gunned it again, then yeah. So that didn't go anywhere very fast. And so between that and the dogs and racing on the carpet and all the shit that was getting on my cars, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't no fun. So gotta wait for the dedicated power supply. That's when you play Kyle Petty, Son of Richard by Soundgarden. The dude, I run super tires on mine. And then I buy some from Viper because the tire heights is what I'm looking at. So it's not just a matter of like gel claws, I believe, are like a 0.445 in diameter. And so as an example, the lower you get it, obviously you're getting the magnets closer to the track. So it's going to grip more. But by the same token, if you get it too low with a plastic track, it'll rub rails on the bottom of the car, and then it'll actually start slowing down the car. So that's where you actually have to play with the tire height and the motor and the traction magnet strength and try to find your happy medium of the right height with the right strength magnet for speed and handling. Because there's been times that my car hauled ass and it set a quicker lap time, but it was on the ragged edge. And so rather than be on the ragged edge and take the chance of wrecking all the time, I went with another setup that handled a little better, but wasn't as fast, you know. You think subs and amps? Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is it? Who was it? Used to run their shit. Bose. Yeah. Bose car audio stuff always runs on like an ohm and an ohm and a half stuff, completely off the normal stereo standard. And a 350 front. See, there we go. See, you know what I'm talking about, Mark. It's all on the heights. I've actually found out with my meter that sometimes on those Mega G Plus magnets, if you flip them from one side to the other, one side has more of a magnet draw than the other. So if you ever had one of those cars and it's not staying on the track very well, try flipping one magnet from one side to the other first. And if that helps, then try the other side too. Yeah, gel claws are like they're great for like 3 laps, is what I found. And then we run 15 lap heat races, and by the time you're from 10 to the 15 laps in there, you're slowing down because the ass ends want to slide out more because it's picked up just dust and stuff out of the air. Now my super tires, they may not be as grippy as the gel claws at first, but they last longer. So that's why I like my super tires. Yeah, see, I like gel claws, just cheap, easy, throw in a car. Just say no to Joe. So is that what you guys run? You guys run a lot of the Viper series tires and or super tires? I personally love the super tires. And here's another tip in case anybody was ever wondering. So back in the day when we were, if you're an old slot car OG like I am, um, you remember buying the old wide silicone tires and replacing. See how wide those are, and you used to think, oh yeah, wide and low, that was the shit. Well, actually, you want low and thin because you got to remember it's a solid axle rear end. So when it's trying to turn a corner, it's working against itself because the outside tire wants to spin faster than the inside tire. But since they're locked together, they're at the same speed. So all it really wants to do is go straight. So with the more rubber that you have there, it's harder for that inside tire to slip going around a corner, which jidges it up and makes it want to flip and fly off. So you will actually go faster with the same height tire if it's narrower than you would if it was wider like those. Yeah, when they used to look cool. Yeah, no, I still have some of those on some of my old OG cars that I still have from when I was a kid. Those big old white, yeah. Yeah, see, the narrow allows that inside tire to slip more as the car's going around the corner. And so it's not trying to chatter the rear end, which obviously, if it's trying to chatter the rear end, it's lifting the chassis and it's lifting that inside magnet. So if all the inertia is going that way, it's want to flip it. So I thought that was interesting. I learned that from Terry Flynn at Hardin Creek. He's actually got a video. He shows you if you've got some of those old wide silicones like this. He shows you how he got a rear end on a Dremel, and he puts a little oil on his X-Acto knife, and then turns on the Dremel, and then just slices them like about 16th or an eighth of an inch somewhere in there. Oh yeah, see, Robert, for drag racing, yeah, I can see that because it's just a quick hit with the gel claws. But on like on my plastic track, even though it'd be cleaned and it's just the dust from the motors and the magnets and dragging on the track and everything else, and those gel claws, they are so sticky that they eventually start picking up all that crap and they start getting slick. And so about like I said, from the 10th lap to the 15th lap in our heat races, if you ran gel claws, you were having to slow down big time. Hey man, no problem. And thank you everybody else for chipping in and helping out everybody. Like I said, this is the reason why I started this channel. You're good. Believe in yourself. It's all good. My dog came in. Well, we're up to 27 people here tonight. Thank all 27 of you that decided to show up for us live. In case of any of you missed, nobody bid on any of the cars, but they are still available for sale until Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can email me at scottdanielmo@gmail.com, and I'll let you know if it's still available. And if it is, then we'll get it sold and get it shipped out to you. Yep. Oh, that's what it's all about. I had a buddy that put level 52 traction magnets in his Mega G Plus car, and then put the lowest tires that he could get on it without the chassis dragging around the track, and went slower. And as soon as he started working the tire size up, then all of a sudden it started picking up speed again. Well, that's cool, Mike. That's why I do this, man. I mean, if it ain't me, if it isn't me sharing something that I know I can count on the people that are viewers that are watching it and helping out, that somebody's going to share something they have. And that's why, like I said, the main reason why I did this was to share what I have and to get other people's knowledge, and then we all get smart, and then we pass it on down to other people, and the whole idea is just to make this community grow and get bigger, and get more people into slot cars. And I honestly believe the second coming of slot cars is on its way. And if it hadn't already started, it's in its baby infancy steps starting that way, because it's just a time frame thing of age. And like I mentioned before, if you're in your 40s, 50s to 60s, in that age group in there, and you're watching this channel, or you know about slot cars, this is about the time you're starting to look for another hobby in your life and that you might want to do. So that's why I see it. Ooh, nice, Mark. Uh, so do you have one of the OS3 iRock series controllers? If you do, I'd like to hear your thoughts on how they compare. Driving in the hills, do I run different size tires on one side or the as the other? Uh, on my slot car track, no. In real life, no. No, you don't want to. The only way you'd want to run a different tire diameter on your slot car is if it was an oval, and then you'd run a shallower inside tire, or a thinner inside and a taller outside to keep the car pitched for your turns. Okay, see, I've got one of those DS controllers where it goes 120, 90, 60. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, Robert, that's the first clue when you go to pick up the car, the whole track comes with it. Yep. Okay, so um, then that's what I had for my whenever I had my 4 lane set up before I got uh, my power supply, when we were running all the warts and stuff like that. Um, I could vaguely tell a difference in the trigger control. That's where I found the 60, 90, and 120 difference. And it helped racing. It helped kind of fine tune a little bit. But I'm really looking forward to trying those OS3s, because of them being infinitely adjustable, not just 3 different settings. And I'm thinking your DeFalco's the very same way. And I'm thinking they're both made wiperless like that DSS was too. So I like that. Those are a lot smoother. Oh yeah. Oh no, I could tell the difference in the quality, and I haven't even ran my OS3s yet because I just got them for the new tracks, the rebuilt new track, whatever. And you can just tell in the trigger control, the way the spring, the yeah, it just feels like a more quality unit. I guess is the easy way to put it. And see, because I've seen those DeFalco on eBay for like what, 80, 70, 80 bucks, 90 bucks, somewhere in there like that. So I thought about getting one just to compare. But I thought if you already had one, then I just, save my 80 or 90 bucks and let you be my guinea pig. But sounds like we're both in the same boat. We just in a different way. You went with the DeFalco, I went with the OS3, but we both started with the DS. My dog's upset because normally he's laying in my lap while we're sitting there watching TV about this time of night. Yeah, yeah. If your car's smoking, and that's a good sign. Yeah. See, I knew that they started busting up. So, like I said, I didn't wire my track. I'm not wiring my track for brakes at all. I just going old slot car, the old on off switch basically. But I've thought about it. That's where you really get to take advantage of those high end controllers is with the braking, is my understanding. Because they have the coast rollout that you can kind of control. So when you let off, it'll coast a little more. All that stuff. Yeah. Oh, sweet, Mark. Yeah. See, that's why I got that IROC series from OS3, just so if someone came over, they didn't get stuck with the little itty bitty tiny kitty controller. And my Parma that's not adjustable. I have an old Parma, big old nice controller, except now you don't pull the trigger back exactly straight, then eventually it'll start warping it in there. And anyway, so now you actually have to physically move the trigger back and forth on it because it won't completely let off. So anybody that gets that controller is always at a deficit because they would always have to either remember to let off or they were flying off the track. And so I was like, you know what? I'm tired of that. Yeah, for 80 bucks. Exactly. That's why we all got those DS ones. Another buddy of mine bought one of those too. And then letting someone else that's been running that Parma or the old AFX 120 ohm or whatever, and then they get one of those wiper controllers and like, well, no wonder you guys are so fast. Well, the controller makes a big difference. It's a lot finer, detailed control. I know I got faster when I got mine. The partial meltdown, yeah. See, that's what was happening with that Hot Wheels NASCAR Sight and Sound with these TYCOs here, Robert. Is these have hopped up motors and magnets and motor magnets in them, and it was flying them around the track even with the little wall warp. But that controller, at one point in time, I thought it was melting in my hand, and obviously that's a no bueno. And then, like I said, when the other guy tried racing, and his car wasn't even moving, but his controller was getting hot, there was a pretty good clue we were done. Sorry, dog was wanting me to move something so she could lay down. Oh man, I'm telling you what, guys, I got up at 7 o'clock this morning and basically been going ever since. And I honestly moving the stuff today and seeing all my slot car stuff, and that just got me juiced up for tonight. And this has been pretty awesome. I'm having a blast. Thank you guys for spending your time with me and everybody else that's here. All 30 of us now. Wow. Thank you, all 30 people that are here. I appreciate you stopping in tonight. That's awesome. Just sitting here talking slot cars. And guys, I can't wait till I get my track running because whenever I do live feeds, I'll just say, okay, watch this. This is what we're getting ready to do at the track, and I'll scoot the damn camera over and we'll watch Scott go make laps on the track. Hey, Mark, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I mean, that's how much I'm missing racing my track. I'm missing racing my real car, but since I know that's at least 2 to 3 months away from happening anyway, then I know my race car, slot car track will be up and running within the next 2-3 weeks. So thanks, Ed. Appreciate that, man. Like I said, very enjoyable. Thank you, Jeff. Scott, you too, man. Oh, man. Hey, Scott. Never met a Scott I hadn't liked. Hey, Robert. No, thank you for stopping by a little bit and hanging out with us, buddy. You take care. Have a good evening. And I'm sure we'll talk again soon at either on a PTT feed or Dan's feed or somebody's feed, but we'll talk again. Have a good night. Wow, it's almost a quarter till 10 my time. I had no idea. I would be having withdrawals. Trust me, I've been having withdrawals, Mark. Big time. And this is just barely getting me by is just getting to talk slot cars and sell some slot cars and buy some slot cars, doing the old slot car thing, but it's nothing like actually pulling the trigger. I just miss having my buddies come over once or twice a week and us all hanging out. And no offense to any females out there, but no women, no girlfriends, no wives. It's just the boys having fun, and it's just good. Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, it's I've been going on here for almost 3 hours now, and my doggies are. That's why one of them keeps coming here shaking. I don't know if you keep hearing him shaking his little collar, his little tag or whatever, but he's trying to tell me I need to go let him out. So I need to kind of start winding this down. So I'm just going to recap one more time. None of the cars got bid on tonight. So all 5 of the cars that were in the video that I did for the promo are still available for sale. They will be available for sale at these prices till 7 o'clock on Monday. Then that's when they hit eBay. $30 for the Hot Pursuit Camaro from 2006. $50 for the Target Championship number 11 from 1999. $40 for the Penguin Mobile from the Series 39 4 Gears. This is the A version of this car. 92, 93 Miata yellow, $50 for it, brand new in the package. And then last but not least, I had a new body that I put a brand new Autoworld chassis, but I went with the silver wheels instead of black wheels. And there you can see it's brand new, and $30 for that bad boy. So if anybody's interested, I am going to put, like I said, my email address is real simple. First, last name, Missouri, and at Gmail, but it's scottdanielmo@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description below. And so if you're viewing this video later, or if you viewed it tonight and you thought, well, hey, I think I will buy one of those cars, just email me, let me know, and I'll let you know if it's still available. If it is, then it's yours, and I won't list it on eBay, but you have until Monday, 7 o'clock. If it is on eBay and if it's after Monday at 7 o'clock, then all you have to do is message me, and I'll let you know if there's a bid on it. And if there's no bid on that car yet, then if you want it, I'll pull it off eBay and I'll sell it to you for exactly what I have here. But if you see it on eBay, it's probably going to be anywhere from $5 to $10 higher than what I had here, just to help cover the cost of the eBay fees. So just throw that out there. Well, believe in yourself. It's time to jump back in the pool and buy some more cars. And it just so happens somebody that has something to sell. So, but well, all 24 of you that have taken the time out of your Saturday night to join me, thank you again for this Slot Car Saturday Night Live, episode 2, auction 1. I am going to do another video for another 5 cars for the next Wednesday. So every week, what I'm going to plan on doing is Wednesday night is going to be the debut of the 5 cars for the auction for the Slot Car Saturday Night Live chat for that following Saturday. And then if I have sold something where I can buy something, then in between there, I'll throw in a look what Scott's got, and we'll do that live also. But so from here on out, you're going to see me twice a week, once in a video version on Wednesday nights, and then live and in person on Saturday night. So I get the the best part of what I like about my channel, and that is interacting with everybody on my channel and talking slot cars and having a good old time. And once again, if you are experiencing the severe weather, or your family or somebody like that has, please, everybody, take care. Take care of your family. If there's anything that I myself or anybody on my channel can assist with, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're all very willing to try to help our community and keep the brotherhood alive. So let me look at the chat here real quick. Yep, everybody's saying good night. So I'm not going to go down the list of everybody because I know I'll forget somebody and I don't want somebody to feel left out. But everybody that has joined tonight, I do want to say thank you. Everybody that did participate in the live feed tonight with the chat, thank you guys. This is what I mean. I'm smiling still, and that's almost 3 hours of going on a live stream. This is awesome. This is why I love this hobby. Good people, good conversation. It's just a good time for me, and I hope you all had a good time too. If you didn't get to join this video live, you will notice that the live chat has been recorded. You can see what we're talking about, see what other people on the channel were discussing while I was going over some stuff. And if you do want one of these cars, you simply have to message me at scottdanielmo@gmail.com, and we'll get you all taken care of. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everybody that did take time to even show up for a little bit and say hi, or just even watch for a little while. That helps get my channel out there. We are getting closer to that 500, and we are going to have a 2-car giveaway. Once we get to there, we'll have a Mega G Plus, and we'll have a TYCO 440, and the winner gets their pick, and second place gets whichever car that the other one doesn't want. But we'll have a couple of videos on build up and all that stuff. But we got to get to 500 first. So everybody, if you are viewing this and you're not already a subscriber, please do the LSS below. The old like, share, subscribe. And if you are currently a subscriber, once again, I do thank you again for your support. Thank you for your concern and reaching out to me when I was gone. But I am back, and I intend to stay back as long as possible and try to give you guys some more content. And as soon as I can get my track up and running, then this channel is really going to take off, guys. So as far as content goes, it's not just going to be Scott talking about slot cars. We're actually going to talk the talk and walk the walk. So once again, thank you guys. Have a good night. Until we speak again, light some sparks and melt some plastic. We'll see you guys here in a few more days. Take care. Bye-bye. Night, Mark.